can hear us.
Is this in Buffalo?
If you
47.
want to remake those announcements, I apologize.
Oh, they didn't,
I'm sorry, what happened?
they didn't hear you up there.
It's already been a great day. Yep. Hey, if you want to remake the announcements, I apologize. If you want, for the record, I can go through the spill of what I started off with. Today's date is May 13th, 2026. This is a regular meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority being conducted in New York City with video conferencing to Albany and Buffalo. This meeting is also being live streamed on the authority's YouTube channel, where you can find the recordings of our past meetings. Present today are Chair Lily Fan, Commissioner Edgar De Leon, and Commissioner John Maya. Staff in attendance, General Counsel Shannon Carney-Sarfo, Deputy Commissioner of Licensing Maureen Hughes, and myself, Secretary Roper. Next regular meeting dates are June 3rd, June 24th, and July 15th. While in the meeting rooms, please silence your cell phones and take any phone calls or conversations outside. Items will be called in the order they are signed in, first in Buffalo, then Albany, and then in New York City. Exceptions are when we have items that need an interpreter. They will be called when the interpreter arrives. And as New York City already heard me say once, we will call items if they have community representation present. This is to promote community input. When your item is called, please approach the podium and identify yourself. Representatives should also identify their clients who are present. And I apologize again. Chair, want to go?
All right. So I'm not going to make the first announcement because it's not relevant to them. We're going to take a short break between Albany and New York City today. And we made an announcement, and I will repeat again, that the legislature 3 years ago had asked the agency to have a community affairs specific person for the metro area. And I'm proud to announce that 3 years later, we have finally found the right person, Philip Arnold, who is in the room here. And he's going to be going to a lot of community board meetings. If you guys are at board meetings, you might have already seen him for important applications. He is showing up and giving the board his view of what has happened so that we are kept apprised. He will also be appearing in the community, helping with licensing and answering questions. And so if you have questions, please reach out to him. Our former Zone 1 and Zone 3 directors have been promoted within the agency. Joe Clark and David Stoller were great in their roles. And now they are going to become special assistants in operations and have taken on very significant internal operations tasks to help us move the train along. They're both really, really valued professionals, and I really thank them for their role in the community affairs, and they will still have a foot, obviously, in the door while Philip Arnold is getting up to speed. And if we need to, we will continue to expand the community affairs team as we go. There will be other executive role changes at the agency that we are very excited to be working on. Every time I make a new hire, I think this is the last person I'm hiring. So not the case. But really excited to continue to implement a more efficient team and good people that can share in some of the complicated work that our agency does. If you have comments about how operations can continue, I really hope that you will share your thoughts with us. Just while we're here, I would take the opportunity to tell you that our licensing team has really achieved a lot. They are now all around at a 90-day wait, so that's really worth celebrating. I think we should clap for them. It's a really, really huge achievement. We thank the governor for giving us the staff that we need. I congratulate our leadership who has done everything they can to keep up morale, keep training, and pizza parties, anything. We've tried everything at the agency to try to move this train along. And so it's also to remind you that if your application is waiting a long time, it's been 9 months and you have heard nothing, likely we don't have it, and that you should reach out to us. And give us a heads up that maybe something is lost and that you need some attention. So we're here for you. We're here to service you. And so please give us feedback. Thank you.
So first item is in Buffalo. That item is number 47, ADELITAS Victor Inc.
Good morning, Tracy Jong from Evans Fox. I'm here with the principal, Cesar Moreno. We're here on a disciplinary matter. We have offered a CNC, and we've also submitted some mitigation papers. So we had an issue here where there was a underage employee who was drinking, and it resulted in a death with it. And what he has submitted are very significant changes to operations involving training and signage and changing his procedures in general at the restaurant. He also has submitted a plan for putting in an executive team because this is a restaurant that has multiple locations. So he also submitted a plan for more executive and management and operating the location.
Sir, the most important thing is, are you feeling okay? Because I know that last time you didn't come because you were getting medical treatment.
Oh, no, yes, after that, feeling already 100%.
Okay, great. So you're running the businesses now, right?
Yes, I've been there since I got back.
Okay. So you are as horrified as we are about an under 18-year-old working at your location and then passing away because of overservice, right?
Oh, no, yes, we are. Yeah, I'm real that was one of the worst things that has happened to me in the past 30 years working as an owner. And it's always a first time, and it was real bad.
What, if anything, have you done for the family?
We offered to pay the whole full service. Obviously, they sent her back to Mexico, and they didn't want to accept no help. But as soon as I got back, the next day that happened, because I was away in Mexico, I offered the family to cover the whole funeral expenses, and they denied it. They didn't want help. They said they couldn't do it themselves. And since then, I mean, I haven't talked to them. They haven't talked to me no more. So.
How often are you in Mexico, sir?
Maybe once or twice a year.
So you were in Mexico when this happened. You were also in Mexico last time when we were supposed to meet. It's coincidence?
Yes. I went to check up because I had an issue with the surgery, and I just went to the doctor down there just to check and see what was going on. And unfortunately, that while I was down there, they had to do surgery to me. But I was already coming back. I had plans to come back and be here for the meeting. I had my boarding pass. I had everything for a couple of days before the meeting. Unfortunately, this happened, and I had to get surgery, so.
Okay, I mean, it's fine. I'm just more concerned that you're not actually present at your businesses. And managers are doing things that you don't know about.
I mean, we train them.
You understand that from our point of view, it's a lack of supervision, right?
Yep. No, I mean, I accept the responsibility is mine. We train our managers to do stuff. Unfortunately, that day, I mean, the managers didn't comply. They didn't came and did whatever, they wanted to.
Can you implement no after-hour parties for the staff?
Usually, that's one of our rules that we have. It's done.
Is it a written rule?
Yes, it's written, and every hire that we go through the same process and tell them, there's no drinking afterwards. There's no employee drinking. I mean, if you come in as a customer, you could be treated as a customer, but no employees drinks. I don't even drink there. I have the full bar there at my disposal. I don't even do it. because I don't want my employees to see it.
Yeah, presumably the alcohol is there for sale, not for your
Yes.
employees to just drink, because I assume you're not charging them. So the bartender was indicted. Was the bartender actually fired?
Yes, the bartender, everybody that was involved, everybody was fired. They're
How
no
many is
longer with-
everybody? How many people?
I mean, I don't know, there was a one of the bussers that with them that went and got some drinks and gave her two there in the kitchen, but that's about it. And all those,
So you don't know how many people were fired as a result of this
oh
death?
no, yeah, two people got fired.
Two
The
people.
manager, the bartender, they
Okay.
got fired.
The busboy is still there.
Yeah, the bus was still there. No, well, she left because she was,
She left anyway.
yeah, she was one of the sisters-in-law with the death.
I see. Okay. All right. I mean, I think it should go up, but what, you know.
I agree. I did read the letter that you submitted and the mitigation statement that you submitted. And that is certainly appreciated. I really appreciate the chair asking about the family in this case, because I didn't see any reference to that in your letter, and I was going to ask about it. And I also didn't see anything in your letter about firing the employees and the number of employees that were fired. It's not just the bartender and the manager that were responsible here. There are a group of people who worked in that restaurant who decided to have a little bit of a party after things were closed, possibly drinking after, I can't recall the time now, possibly drinking after 4 a.m., but I'm not 100% sure about that. Well, you're nodding, so I guess that didn't happen. That's good.
No, this is a
No.
restaurant that closes at 10 o'clock at night.
That's great. That's great. That's great, because I said I wasn't sure about that. But what we had here was a group of people that got together and really, really overindulged in alcohol to the point where this young lady died from alcohol intoxication. That is a hugely serious thing. You were not there. You were not here the last time that you came here. And most importantly, you've been deferring to a lot of managers. But I read here that your method of operation notes that you will not employ any managers and that you will manage, and that 3 names were submitted as managers with the CNC in this case. So it appears to me that you've been using managers all along when you weren't supposed to be using them. And that is a real problem for me. Go ahead, ma'am.
Commissioner, we had asked the licensing department when he switched to add some managers, whether we needed to do a method of operation change. We were told that there is a guidance document that says that a restaurant or a bar licensee does not need to report a change where they decide to add and appoint managers. And I think we addressed this when we went back and forth with counsel's office when we were working on the plea.
Yeah, but the flip side, but the flip side of that is the statement in the method of operation that he would be the manager, that he would be the person in charge.
And when he opened this up, it was one of 2 locations, and he was there on a full-time basis. As they got bigger and he opened up another location, they eventually went to bringing in managers to help operate, as he's mostly at this one location, as it had been explained, but it wasn't that he was misrepresenting. It's at the time of that original location, it was a full-time job. He was the one who was there hands-on. Since then, they have opened a couple other locations, so now he's added managers at those other locations, and he primarily is working at this location as we described, but he does visit and have oversight at the other locations every week as well. So it wasn't a misrepresentation, it was a change in circumstance over quite a few years.
I understand what you're saying, but it is still a lack of supervision, and it's, as you grow, the standard and the maintenance of supervision has to remain. You can't say, okay, there's been a lapse, because I'm getting bigger and business is good and I'm making more money. Someone lost their life here at 18 years of age. That is as serious as it gets. under circumstances that are just totally inappropriate and did not have to occur. I'll wait and see if my colleagues have any other questions when we're ready to vote.
Yeah, well, I have one question. How many restaurants do you have, sir?
Right now I have 3.
Okay, and how many did you have at the time in 2024?
It was 3.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so when you applied, you had the restaurants and you still put no manager. All right, I just want to clarify that. All right,
Members are ready to vote.
You want me to go first or have to go?
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
You can go to-
Okay. All right, look, I certainly appreciate the biggest thing that you've done today is to accept responsibility
Yeah.
and that you've reached out to the family.
Yeah.
I don't know that, that is significant. It's obviously not significant in the eyes of the family. But I do appreciate the mitigation efforts, and I do appreciate always when people come in and accept responsibility. I believe in accountability. I also believe in redemption, and I believe anybody can be redeemed and that we can come back from the mistakes that we've made. You've been in business at this place for 4 years, and you have no adverse history. So I certainly take that into consideration, as well as your submission and the mitigation that you have outlined in your submission. But I do believe that the $14,000 is wholly insufficient under these circumstances. And I would vote for $30,000 and allow you to keep your license.
Commissioner Mayo.
I'm good with the $14,000, and I'm also taking note of all of the questions and comments made by Commissioner DeLeon about taking responsibility. It's an unfortunate tragedy, but I think $14,000. I believe you've learned a lesson, so $14,000.
Chair.
All right, I'm gonna counter at 30,000.
All right. It's a counteroffer of $30,000. You'll get a letter in the mail where you can either, or via email where you can either accept it or go to hearing, unless you want to accept it now.
He would like to accept it now.
Accepted.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next is number 16, WNY THERESA Inc.
Good morning, members. Jacob Pierkowski here, joined by Sharon Gill, the owner of WNY THERESA Inc. We're here in relation to a decision that was made by an ALJ on a sale to minor charge. I think there's just a couple important points to highlight in the ALJ's decision. Notably, she states on page 4 that there's a discrepancy between the detective's affirmation and the underage agent's deposition. She finds that the detective's testimony was not credible and is therefore disregarded. She also notes that Detective Kiefer, the other detective's testimony, should be disregarded so long as it relies on paperwork from the detective, Detective Maitland, whose testimony that she did not find credible. I think this was a true mistake. In watching the video many times as I did in preparation for the hearing, it does not appear that the cashier intended to give away the alcohol. There seemed to be some confusion about whether there was an ID or a credit card that was scanned. And for those reasons, I would ask just for a letter of warning here. I think this was just a mistake and not one to be repeated.
You went to hearing, the ALJ sustained all the charges. This is not a place where we revisit the facts. I think you know that. Do you have a scanner? You have a scanner that you use, right?
Yes.
It was just somehow bypassed.
It was not, it cannot be bypassed. He gave his, the scan didn't come up the right way. If you look at the screen, it comes up black. There was some sort of mistake in what was scanned. So there's no override for it. If the person's under 21, they can't make the sale.
Look,
So there's
it's
no
your
money
responsibility to
exchanged.
not make a sale to minor. It's not really my job to account for the technical difficulties that you may have while you use a scanner that you pay for, and you're supposed to make sure to, you'll have it to place sale to minor, not to, when you make a sale, ask for a letter of warning. So this is your second sale. This is your second sale in 2 years. I find it hard to believe that you continue to make mistakes. When I see 2 in 2 years, that means there were a lot in between. You were just not caught for it.
Okay. Are we voting?
Ready to
I have no
vote?
question.
Yeah, the ALJ sustained the charge if you want to start with that.
Yeah, again, you know, I certainly concur with the chair. The ALJ sustained the charges here. You only licensed for 2 years, and you've already had 2 sales to minors. The delegation here, I believe, is 6,500, and I will accept 6,500.
Mr. Mayo?
500.
Okay, I'm sorry, did you?
6,500.
Thank you, members.
Thank you.
Next is 44 and 45, ZOLLINGERS, Inc.
Good morning again, members. Jacob Pierkowski here on behalf of Zollingers Inc. I'm joined by the principal, Jeffrey Stoltenberg. This is a cancel and bond. We're just looking for acceptance of that offer.
I'll accept cancel and bond.
Commissioner De Leon
Cancel and bond.
44
and
and 45.
Commissioner Mayo.
Cancel bond.
Very good. Thank you, members. Thank you.
So the next item has the applicant in Buffalo in opposition in Albany. It's 54 MARYUMA LLC. It's 54. So if the applicant can introduce themselves first.
Hello, Attorney Lauren Montfort with the applicant MARYUMA LLC. I have the principal Yasser Abazid with me. I apologize if I didn't say that correctly.
It's okay. Yasser Abazid.
The opposition was here last time, or do you want to hear from them?
We would appreciate being heard if that's all right, since Mr. Patel did drive in from Syracuse for this.
Sure.
Alexandra Becker from Whiteman, Osterman, and Hannah with me. I have J. Raj Patel from Zovi LLC, which is Getty's Liquor and Wine, which is the closest store. Appreciating that we don't need to rehash anything that was said at the prior hearing. We're on record with the saturation issue and the sales figures issue. The board, very kindly to the applicant, gave him an additional 2 months to come back and to address what we viewed as a very concerning amount of opposition from the community to this application, including from a member of the Common Council. In preparing for this hearing today, we reached out to request copies of any additional support that had been put in by the applicant, and as late as yesterday, we're told that nothing further had been put in. And that's extremely telling, given that the applicant was given this additional opportunity and instructed by the authority exactly what he needed to do to try to put himself in a stronger position. Meanwhile, if you look at our additional submission, we have more than 30 additional signatures from community members and residents in opposition, as well as a letter from Stephanie Watson, who's the operations director of the Science Academies of New York Charter Schools, strongly opposing the license. So in light of the fact that, we've submitted further opposition, the additional opposition from the community still stands, and the public convenience and advantage saturation issue, we strongly believe that the authority should absolutely not grant this license.
All right. So I see the opposition from the school. I just want to clarify that the school is 329 feet away. You agree with that?
Correct. It is not a 200-foot violation issue, and that's not something that we were ever claiming.
I understand. And there is also a church that is 500 feet away, over 500 feet away, but that's on a different street, but also in the neighborhood.
Correct. I don't remember the exact difference. I know it was not a 200-foot issue,
Okay.
But just a very close proximity, and that the Common Council and the other members expressed concern about the area as a whole.
All right, great.
And if I may be heard.
Yes, go ahead.
So I was just here to try to clarify what my client is trying to do for the community. I understand that the opposition has brought to the board's attention some public opposition. And although I am distressed for the failing sales of the businesses listed, I do believe that the majority of the businesses are owned by one family. And my client is coming in to be a disruptor purposefully in a challenging area of Syracuse that needs someone to stand in and change the tone of businesses that are serving the community.
I'm sorry, can I just stop you for 1 second?
Sure.
Did she put her name on the record?
Yeah, you introduced yourself, yeah.
Okay. So, did you watch the video from last time?
I did watch some of it, yes.
Okay. So, you mentioned that you think the neighboring stores are owned by one family. What do you mean by that?
So it's my understanding, and again, I don't have operating agreements or documentary proof of this, but it's my client's understanding that the retail liquor store community in that area has been dominated by a specific family and family members. And I could ask my client to give more specifics on that.
Okay, so last time we mentioned to him that because the Common Council is opposing, and there's a lot of opposition on the record in writing, that if he were to submit more information, it needed to be in writing. Did you send us the supplemental document explaining some of this stuff in writing, or you?
No, I apologize. I don't have anything in writing for you, but I do have my client here to give testimony, and I believe that he can understand better what questions are being asked and what is being asked of him.
Okay, it's fine. I just want you to understand that maybe you don't come here a lot, but the allegation that there is availing of the liquor stores is a very, very serious claim here. It could cause people to lose their business. So I'm just trying to understand what you're really saying, because you could be triggering an enforcement investigation here. And if I need to do that, I will need to adjourn this item and go investigate. So I'm trying to understand how solid your evidence actually is, because it's not just, say it out loud and then pretend like nothing happened.
I understand, and we're not here to be malicious in any way. I'm not trying to trigger an investigation of anybody in the room at this time. What we're saying is that that particular block of Syracuse is a fairly challenged and impoverished block. So he has been working with the city since pre-COVID times, really, to increase the flow of higher income people to that area to offer a product that would change the tone and tenor of the neighborhood. He's been trying to do that with this retail store that he's been working on since COVID times by resiting the entire building. The building itself used to be a bottle return where a number of homeless people would spend the day. Those homeless people and the addicted people of Syracuse were within that same distance of the church and the school that is being discussed. He is trying to flip the demographic of the street. He has renovated the entire building. He has updated the sidewalks at the city's request. He has gutted the building and tried to change it to a higher and better use. He is installing a fence around the entire perimeter so that people who go there are not interfering with any of the community treasures that people are referring to. He has a business nearby, which he has been constantly struggling to improve the clientele that come to that location, to the point where he almost had to shut it down. This is his attempt to continue his efforts in that neighborhood, but to move away from on-site consumption, which is a problem, and set up a real retail shop that would close at 9 o'clock. People would purchase the items and leave.
I'm sorry, so are you telling me that there is a lot of what you refer to as addicted people on that street in that area?
There were, when there was a bottle shop, absolutely. That was a very bad neighborhood, yes.
And so you
It is-
think that you're helping the community by putting a liquor store there?
I think that we are helping the community by changing the use of the property. The property has not been a bottle shop since
2020.
2020. So he purchased the property and immediately eliminated the bottle shop. Since that time, he's been working with the city to improve the exterior of the building, the sidewalk, the ingress, the egress, the public access to it. But all of this is in an attempt to improve the neighborhood. And
So
yes,
are you-
I would
are
stand
you
behind
saying
saying that removing a bottle shop 6 years ago did change the people that were coming to the neighborhood.
So to the extent that there may be homelessness and addiction issues in the community there on the street, directly outside, are you committing to not selling certain types of products?
If that was something that the board would require.
No, it's your job to propose the business plan, not my job to tell you what to sell and not to sell. If you're telling me that there are people that are addicted and you're talking about on-street drinking right there, we're not really inspired to add to the public safety problem.
Well,
If you want to say, oh, well, you're not going to sell dollar bottles to avoid that, community from spending, I don't know. You're trying to run a business. You're trying to tell me that putting a liquor store there that's open until 9 o'clock somehow will help the homelessness situation. I'm not convinced by that. I think that's not logical at all.
Okay, well, so the package that I received said that there were 6 stores within less than 2 miles with declining sales. I would argue that that could have potentially contributed additionally to the character of the neighborhood. However,
All right, let's just.
Could you finish your thought? However, what?
however, as I've said, my client is committed to running a upscale facility to sell products to a higher level client in an attempt to increase the atmosphere of that neighborhood, which we do agree is a special area in Syracuse and deserves a business that is going to improve the area.
Can I add some?
Sure.
The neighborhood, when I start being there, it's just like it have a lot of problem. I increase mostly the cameras everywhere for the security. I enhance the whole building is going to be more like a venture kind of people want to come in spend time as any other area. The area was attempting to the homeless, yes, before, because the building was vacant and nobody been attempting an area where it's just like they give them the chance to do whatever they want to do. Right now, I don't have nobody hanging around the area. And basically, because they see the cameras, they see the security, we attend them most of the time in the area. And that's eliminate everybody being around, like being any criminal activity or being hanging around drunk. So what we did, we upgraded the whole area from being dark and being as activity for the people who want to do any activity in the building, whereas nobody watched them. Now it's just like the area is being lit, it's being secure, it's being camera also. I have invested in a whole security system between those buildings. So we don't have nothing going on, and basically we try to cooperate also with the liquor authority. If there's anything happening, we notify them and we stand behind them.
Okay. Are you operating already, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to operate both of them.
He
On the tavern, not on the liquor store.
he's not currently operating the retail store. He has a bar on that same street that he has been operating since 2019.
Yes, is that, let me ask you a question about that. Two questions. One,
Sure.
Is this proposed liquor store located in a plaza?
No plaza, no.
No plaza, okay.
Freestanding
I
building.
own both building, and since I own them, I remodeled the whole building.
Okay, and the information that I have is that the proposed location is close to a bar that has had problems over the years. Is that your bar that we're speaking of?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And basically, this is the problem is just like, it's mostly the area is, but we contain everything is just like happening. And that's beside, we enhance the security in the whole area.
And
May
there
we
have
speak
been-
briefly in rebuttal?
No.
The members ready to vote? Commissioner De Leon?
Okay. You know, the statements of the applicant are ironic. And I think the chair picked up on that. Here the applicant is detailing a problem in the neighborhood of homelessness, of addiction, and proposing that to be a disruptor in that neighborhood by bringing in alcohol, which the community has vociferously opposed. And the applicant says that he's doing this to enhance the city. The common council member of the city is also in opposition. And while the church and the school are not per se bars under the law, they are also in opposition. Not to mention the residents that have submitted opposition. We have 6 stores within 1.5 miles, and as the applicant has noted, the sales are going down in those areas. And there's some kind of a proposal to fix this problem by bringing in higher income people and somehow making these addicted and homeless people go away. That the problem was that there was a bottle store, a bottle return store, as opposed to his bar, which is the bar that one of the
The bottle return the store.
And
I'm
may I
sorry.
finish, sir? May I finish?
Okay.
Which is what one of the residents in opposition has said has been a problem over the years, and which I asked you about, and you kind of indicated, yes, that's your bar. And the allegation that the other bars are perhaps all owned by the same family and acting in some kind of availing is a very, very serious charge to raise without any substance to it. Finally, we've heard this application before, and we gave the applicant opportunity to come in and submit supplementals in support. None of that has been done. It still remains, as much as we are here to serve this industry and promote businesses wherever we can, facilitate your growth, it still remains in the mission statement of this agency to promote temperance and public safety. And I don't see by overcoming all this opposition that you have, the problem that you yourself have detailed in that area, bringing another liquor store with depressed sales into the area is in the public interest. Not to mention that there's been nothing about public convenience and advantage here. So for all the reasons that I've stated, I have to deny this application.
Commissioner Mann?
And I'll just make a couple notes. Mahat Swani, I think, is a different neighborhood, although it's indicating to be close by. Zovi, to me, is a different neighborhood, but Kid Sid is right there. And I don't know, I know that so and some of the answers today, I have in my notes, listen to applicant. So I deny.
All right. I think Commissioner De Leon said it really beautifully. Thank you for your summary and finding. I don't find public convenience an advantage. We've given the applicant ample opportunity to come back with community support, and there's just too much here concern about public safety, and every single store is doing declining numbers. I think it's pretty clear that there is no increased demand of alcoholic beverage products in this neighborhood, and I vote to deny.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's it in Buffalo, right, Nicole?
That's it.
Okay, you can sign off. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next is Albany. That's number 21, Finch Brothers Limited. If you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chris Mills of the Mills Law Firm here on behalf of Fitch Brothers Limited. I have with me here today one of the principals, Jason Fitch. This arises out of an incident that occurred back in January of 2025 with 4 charges. We have submitted some documentation and other evidence and mitigation of at least 2 of those charges. My client has taken several mitigation measures, which we have also detailed. This was clearly an improper conduct on behalf of 2 employees who have since been terminated. Fitch Brothers Limited has operated this particular establishment for 20 years, has a stellar reputation in the community. And so we've submitted a conditional plea that we hope the board will consider.
Are you changing anything in your method of operation as a result of this event?
Yes, I'll have Jason mention a few of those things that they've done since that time.
Yes, we've changed our front door guy, our head of security. He is now a close family friend who we've hammered into his head that no one leaves the premise at any time unless needing help from the police officers. All of our security guys now have the Saratoga Springs police phone number on their phone in case of emergencies. We were looking to add a alarm button at the front door and behind the first floor bar that would sense to Moni notified. We had them look into that. They said that they didn't recommend that just because of the volume we had, that the traffic was too much, that might get tripped easily. We have spoken to a few of the police officers about adding a light over our building, but also over every building on Caroline Street. So if there is an incident that needs police attention, we flip that light on and it turns green or red over our door, or over next door, or bar across the street, wherever. So the officers can see that light and act towards that area. That's an idea we have. We have weekly meetings with our managers, my brothers and I, that we every week we talk about security. We make it a point to make sure that everyone's at their spot. Not no cell phones.
All right.
I have a question.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Why are you offering $11,000?
That's what the attorney suggested that the board may accept, and we felt like we didn't have much other choice, unfortunately.
So I think that our document asks for 10,000. I'm reading this, and I'm reading the memo. You suffer from, which I don't think I've seen before, where you got a disorderly premises charge because you had too many security guards that got involved in a situation. So I don't want to hold that against you. I feel like a new security lead is probably helpful, but I don't want to fault you for too much protection for the business, because that's what we want, is for you to have the appropriate bodies at the front when there is a disturbance. You've also been in business since 2006, and I understand from your attorney that you're a good reputed business in the area. So Caroline Street is certainly a hard place to operate. So I feel like, to the extent that you only have one thing on your adverse history, which is a minor thing, like you've been operating really well since 2006 for 20 years.
Thank you.
So for that, I'm going to lower this to 5,000 if the commissioners will agree.
Commissioner De Leon?
Okay. Yeah, this is an incident initiated by a patron who stroked the cheek of a security guard. I don't know what that's about.
It was a slap, unfortunately.
Okay, all right. And then it, it proceeded from there. We did receive, I believe you received a letter regarding similar complaints back in 2023. I do appreciate the remedial measures taken, particularly the panic button. Is that something that you have now?
We're
You gotta
working
say
on
yes.
it. We're working on it. Yes.
Well, you have to be verbalized, I meant to. You didn't have to say yes or no.
Yes.
You have to verbalize your response. Okay. All right. Yeah, you do have a pretty exemplary record. I generally don't like to undermine our negotiations, but I think the chair made a good representation, and you've made a good representation. You have a good history. I'll accept the 5,000.
Commissioner Maya?
Yeah, I thought 11,000 was too high, and I thought 10,000 was too high. 5,000.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for coming in.
Next is 51, Starting Gate Pub and Grill, LLC.
I'm recused.
51.
Good morning.
Can you introduce yourselves?
Greg Starzeski on behalf of the Starting Gate Pub and Grill with the principal, Caroline Dema. I want to apologize for my attire. I had some unforeseen circumstances with another vehicle this morning coming in from Utica, and had I went back and changed, I wouldn't have made it. We are hearing a few charges, a few citations, one of which is having a Super Bowl square, another of which was buying alcohol from an authorized, unapproved liquor store.
No, that's actually not a charge. If you did that, that's something else you're talking about. What is the charge is actually refilling. It's not the unauthorized purchase.
Okay, my apologies. And another charge was, I believe, with regards to the record keeping, that weren't on premises when the investigator came in. Ms. Dem is here. She's going to own up to all that. It was a relatively new business. With regards to the Super Bowl, she thought it was appropriate. It was okay in that if she didn't profit from it, it was legal. That has since been corrected. The past Super Bowls, there's been no any sorts of pools there or any type of gambling other than the OTB that's currently in there. With regards to the business records not being on premise, they were with the accountant at the time. They were doing their quarterlies. But since then, she is keeping them all on premise as much as she can, other than doing the accounting work. And with regards to the refilling the bottles, again, it was a relatively new business. There were issues with regards to a certain amount of money had to be spent from the approved distributor, but that's where it actually led up to was purchasing alcohol from a liquor store just so they can keep afloat. But since then, everything's been rectified, and she's here again to fess up to what.
So on that note, I want to let you know that last year, if you didn't already know, that the governor signed into law a piece of legislation called Retail to Retail, and that restaurants are now allowed to buy 6 bottles of alcohol a week.
Yes, she
from
knows
liquor
that. Thank
stores. So I'm going to not focus on that for this purpose.
Thank you.
Where are you?
Well, I do have one question. You mentioned a lot of things in terms of remedial measures, but the information I have is that the bar manager here is her fiance.
Yes.
And he's not on the payroll?
No, he's not. Again, it was relatively new, and he was in there helping. And he does pop in and out every once in a while, but all other employees are on the payroll. At the time he was there, he was there getting it basically up and running, but he was not on the payroll.
Well, is he going to continue as a manager?
He is in and out. Yes, he is.
Okay, then is he going to be put on the books?
Yes.
The delegation here, as I see it, is $7,000. I will accept the $5,000 that's been offered based on what I've heard today.
Thank you.
Commissioner Mann?
I'm recused.
Oh, yeah, recused. Chair?
All right, 5,000.
Okay. They accepted the CNC of 5,000. So you'll receive a letter via email with instructions on how to pay.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next is 82, GANPATI KRUPA LLC.
Good morning, members of the board. My name is James LaValle. I work for the law firm Young Summer. Here today representing GANPATI KRUPA LLC, and also with me today is Kokila Patel, who is the applicant for the application in front of me.
Is there opposition there?
Yes.
The opposition wants to come up.
Hi, I spoke at the previous meeting. This is Anthony Gurria from Valley Wine and Liquor in Herkimer. I'm about 5 miles away from the proposed store. And although I was on the record before, I just wanted to come back again just to stress that our sales in the area have been declining. It's not a growing market, especially with cannabis coming to the area. I know that my store and other stores have seen decrease in sales. And just wanted to also bring up the fact that, you know, I've been in business since 2014 and have a clean record as far as, you know, not selling to minors. And it's clear from the applicant's application that there's been several violations before, and don't think that it would be a wise idea to, you know, have another store in the area with that kind of track record. So I just wanted to come on the record again just to state my, you know, opposition. Thank you.
Members, if I may. Just briefly to address that. In consultation and speaking with my client, it's true that she does own several other businesses. Most of note are Amram Corp DBA County Farms, which is located at 133 West Main Street in Frankfurt, and Melody KRUPA DBA Suntrack, which is at 8019 in Bridgeport. There have never been any underage sale violations or allegations against either of those businesses.
Is it a real thing?
Sorry? Oh, forgive me. And in addition
Just
to
hold
that,
on 1 second. Can you just hold on?
Of course.
I'm just trying to figure something out with the rent. I know that this doesn't make them a licensee, right?
Well, it would. Because 10% is 10%.
I guess
If
that's
more
more.
than 10%,
It's
it
more.
should be on the license.
If it's more.
More than
Yeah,
10%.
it's used.
Because
I get 10%. But I was wondering, listen, what landlord does that? What's the situation with a landlord with this kind of?
can say I don't like that. You can certainly say I don't like
He's
that.
got it. And then the other thing is, did we ever get figures?
What's that?
I had nothing. 82. Right.
They never received
Okay. Is that in a supplement? Because supplement 1 doesn't have it. Let me check. Haven't submitted okay. So who's the landlord of this premises, proposed premises?
The landlord of this proposed premises would be Amram Corporation, which is another entity that my client Kokila does own. So on that, I'm sorry.
Right, so she is the owner of the property, and the rent here is stated to be 10% of the gross sales.
Yes, sir.
Is it just 10, or is it above 10, or lower than 10? How do we know that it's going to stay at just 10?
So the lease that was
If
submitted,
she's in control of both things.
so the lease that was submitted was indicated at 10%. We understand that it can go no higher than that. Clauses were added to the lease to state that even year over year or upon renewal of the lease, it would not increase beyond 10%. My client's reputation in the area and with the community is, in other words, sterling, as indicated by the letter of support submitted by the Village of Frankfort, the mayor, the trustees, and the deputy mayor.
I got that. Let me ask you, who does she own the building on her own, or does anybody own the building with her?
No, she owns the building.
So it's just her. So
Yes.
she's going to be her own landlord and also the licensee.
Yes, sir.
Nobody else is involved.
In the corporate structuring of the business?
Yeah, the building is under I think you said an LLC, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is she the sole member of the LLC?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I agree. Oh, is that? Okay. All right, I think we're ready to vote.
Ready to vote? All right, Commissioner De Leon.
Okay. Haven't heard anything about how this would promote public convenience and advantage. The sales figures that we have, the closest store, which is 2.7, we got no response. But the next closest store is down in numbers. I'm also a little concerned here about the history of the applicant. There have been a number of sales to minors, and we also had a cannabis violation back in just 2025. So for those reasons, I don't find public convenience and advantage, and I have to deny the application.
Commissioner Mayhem, you're recused, correct? Chair.
All right, I'm going to vote to deny as well. I don't find public convenience and advantage. The closest store is just recently removed. The next two stores are doing decreasing sales numbers. Also have concerns about fitness and character of the applicant. There are lots of violations, sale to minor, and a recent cannabis-related charge. And so I don't support this application. I vote to deny. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So next I'm pulling up earlier, 25 SPS MART Inc. Are they in there, Ellery?
They are not. Let me grab them.
You can grab them. So they had just informed us that they required an interpreter that we do not have.
PSP. Yes.
No, SPS?
Yes.
Yeah, you need the Punjabi.
Yeah. He's so we can adjourn it.
Okay, go ahead.
So go on up and introduce yourself.
Sir, can you put your name on the record?
My name is Sandeep Singh.
And you have requested a Punjabi and Hindi interpreter?
Yes, Punjabi, yes. Anyone.
Would you want to adjourn it?
So we're not going to be able to provide an interpreter, but it sounds to me like you speak English.
Yes, but not too much. It's a little bit.
Okay, well, then you're going to have to come back because we're not going to provide it today. And once you request it, we can't really. It's also, you know, it's not gonna change the outcome, but we can adjourn it to, June 3rd.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Mann, Commissioner De Leon.
June 3rd.
Next is 65, Hamed ZOKARI.
What number?
Hello, good afternoon.
65,
Five.
65.
All right, this was 0.7 carton of cigarettes.
I'm coming back.
Yeah. So let me introduce myself. This is Izzy ZOKARI. This is my dad. He's the principal and the owner of the business, Family Food Market. Just kind of here to help him out. I basically help him kind of manage the place and the business. But in addition to what you mentioned, Your Honor, I just wanted to mention that we had our tobacco license suspended for a year, which we actually got reinstated, I guess, towards the end of 2025, which is, I believe, November. And then we also have the 2026 one as well. So, just some context about the case. I mean, it was an employee that obviously had an awful action without our knowledge, but obviously we take accountability for it. We know we kind of have to, I guess, be better with training and kind of just have these constant reminders to our employees. So just wanted to make sure that going forward it doesn't happen again.
All right, you submitted CNC of 3,500. You're telling me that 0.7 carton was on the premises for sale, right? Even though it was the employees in theory?
Yeah. It was basically, like I said, it's employees' action. We had no knowledge of it. Yep.
I'll accept 3,500.
Commissioner De Leon.
3,500.
Commissioner Mann.
3,500.
All right, they accepted it at $3,500. You'll get a letter in your email with instructions on how to pay.
Yeah.
Okay, we accept right away. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next is 39 through 42, TAZV Productions LLC.
Yes, good morning. My name is Adam Bro, attorney with the law firm Myers & Myers, representing the licensee TAZV Productions LLC. With me today is Gary Fox of TAZV.
Donald, how many more Albany items?
Are we saying 49?
39 to 42.
Oh, okay.
39 to 42.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, so you made an offer that have a lot of elements in it. $23,000 civil penalty, 1 a.m. closing time for non-private events for at least 1 year from date of the formal disposition, Midnight closing for private events for at least 1 year from the date of formal disposition. For all private events, licensed security personnel will use metal detector wands. All non-private events that are scheduled to end after 9 p.m., licensed security personnel will use metal detector wands. For private events, there will be at least 1 security guard on duty for every 50 attendees. So, where are you guys at? I mean,
Let me ask counsel a question here. The licensee has been operating for 8 years now. And the adverse history is essentially 1 authorized, an additional bar, and a failure to conform on 3 occasions. But these are all in 2024. It seems like everything has happened in 2024, 2025. We have 16 incidents, 16 from August 30th, 2024 through September 28th, 2025. 4 disorderly premises, 16 failures to conform, a consistent pattern of failing to conform, violating maximum occupancy to a serious degree from 275 to 400. Supposed to be closed by 2 a.m. That's not happening. On August 30th, 2024, the police had to request state troopers and the sheriffs to come in and stabilize and bring order to the location. Using a promoter that's against the method of operation. Using a DJ, which is against the method of operation. Then we had a slashing also in June of 2025. What happened? What's going on from 2024 to 2025 that you developed this incredible record?
Well, as far as the use of DJ and promoters, that was a misunderstanding on the part of the staff after one of the principals had left. Up until that point, before the principal had left, DJs were used, promoters were used, and it was because of that particular principal, who was the one who was handling the daily operations, either was misunderstood the strictures of the license or simply flouted, we don't know, but she left on bad terms. The people that succeeded her and who were working under her simply carried the method of operation that they understood to be appropriate based upon the method of operation that she established at this premises. And many of these violations that are alleged with respect to the use of DJs, with respect to the use of promoters, all happen within a concentrated period before, in many instances, that my client was ever received notice from the SLA that they were in violation. Once they determined that they may have been in violation, particularly for the use of DJs, they thought that that meant that solely a DJ, as opposed to a DJ who also performs with other musical instruments and other musical acts. They tried to accommodate and operate within the strictures of the license, while at the same time trying to also survive financially by bringing in a constant stream of revenue using DJs. That's with respect to the DJs. With respect to the
What's
promoter,
on their method of operation? So are you allowed to have DJs right now?
as of now, no.
So I understand that you're basically a concert venue. Would you agree with that?
I mean, my
We can
client
talk
can.
a lot about who left and what your understanding. Oh, you thought there was no DJ, but only this kind of DJ, not DJ. I mean, this is you're
Private
doing
event-
lawyer
private
speak,
event
but that's not accurate. You're licensed as a restaurant. You're a concert hall. So even if you get your license back today, your business is literally a production company. I used to run a production company. I know what that means. So if you're running production out of this place called Putnam Space, you have all these violations. You haven't filed a change of method of operation. If you get your license back today, even with all these closing time, all these details about private party, non-private party, I don't know how you even define any of these things. What's going to happen? You're going to be in violation tonight.
Well, first of all, we have a method of operation change application pending, but that's on hold because of these matters.
Didn't see that.
And how are you going to get that done with these pending charges? Like you expect? We don't see that apparently.
Can I ask a question while things are being? Oh.
It was withdrawn? Huh?
I believe it was filed in
December of 24.
I think it was October of 25 or October of 24.
And right now, your method of operation says live music.
Yes, that is mainly what we do.
I see a method of operation. Did you surrender the license? Oh,
No.
I
No,
see.
ma'am.
Okay. Bar tavern. This is not a restaurant.
They have
I
hookah.
can reactivate the method of operation, but it's still not reviewed yet.
Okay,
I haven't filed the method of operation.
And so, counsel, what you're saying is that there was a principal who was the cause of all these problems, and that person is no longer associated with the license?
Correct. There were two principals originally, several years ago, I believe, might have been even during the COVID year, that principal left. That principal was the one who was primarily responsible for the daily operations. And at the time that she was in charge of the premises, DJs were used, promoters were used, and when she left, again on bad terms, so whether she knew or didn't know, I don't know, as far as whether she was operating beyond the limitations of the license. But when she left, the remaining staff continued to operate the same as this principal had been operating, unaware, obviously, that they weren't allowed to use a DJ or a promoter.
And where was?
I don't believe that at all. That makes no sense.
Where was the licensee who's standing next to you throughout all this time?
For that.
He's an employee. He's not a principal. He's
not
an employee, not a principal.
Counsel, could
I
I
have
just
been
ask
there
you?
for 10 years.
I mean,
if yeah.
He's been there,
if I
he was
can
there
help.
before while one of the original principals was there, and he's been there since after her departure.
So how come?
So she was breaking the law, you're breaking the law, but it's all her fault because you didn't know that you were breaking the law because she didn't tell you that she was breaking the law? Like, that's basically what you said. Like,
Well, that's what happened. She
May-
was operating the business a certain way. She left under bad terms. The business continued the same way without ever having been advised by
there's an
anybody on
answer.
the staff or the SLA that they were doing anything wrong.
Counsel, can I just, I'm gonna ask a stupid question, but my larger question is gonna follow. How do I say your last name? Counsel.
Last name it's pronounced Bro, as if it was BRO.
Okay, bro, okay. All right. How long have you been the attorney for this entity?
Well, I helped them get the original license, and then I later became involved about maybe a year and a half ago, whenever the first
Okay.
violation case started.
Why did I ask that question? Because in the last year and a half, you have endeavored to give them appropriate counsel on how to operate their business in accordance with the rules, correct?
I did provide guidance.
Okay, yeah, I know you did. It seems to me that you did. Okay. So, and that's an important question to me because with your guidance, perhaps they understand what they have to do going forward. And that's how I'm analyzing this. Okay?
Well, my estimation is that they're crystal clear in what they have to do.
Okay.
okay, but in the meantime, since these charges in August of 24 to September of 25, what have you been doing in the past 8 months? Was the license in safekeeping? You were like, let's clear this up, let's just pause, and then get our method of operation change figured out, and then restart? Or have you been running concerts in violation of the law this entire time?
No, the license has not been in safekeeping. They have been, I'm assuming they have had live band events with no other DJs, no other DJ
Okay,
acts.
so that, by your definition also, we are all in agreement here that that is in violation of your method of operation as filed, right? Now we know that, right, since September of 25. I'm just trying to understand what your understanding is.
I don't understand how, I thought our method of operation was live music.
Right. Have you been using DJs and doing other things that is not allowed?
No.
Not since these violation matters have been ongoing.
What about promoters that you're not allowed to have?
They haven't been using promoters. That's exactly the points that I was raising in my most recent letter, and I believe my original conditional not contest plea letter, when I was explaining that they haven't been using DJs, they haven't been using promoters. As a result, they've lost a considerable amount of revenue, and as a result, we hope that the board takes that into consideration, and that's why we have also filed a method of operation change application so that we can at least sparingly use DJs, but
Okay,
certainly
so
be able
if
to
I
use
see a
third-party
post
promoters.
somewhere saying that this event at this location is being produced by a different entertainment company, that's not using a promoter, according to your definition? Because to me, that is using a promoter, sir.
I'm not aware of any such posts since these
Okay,
violations.
so have you reviewed your client's business in the past year when you come up saying to us, this is what they have or have not done? Because, you know, this is a game of catch here, and this is not fun for us.
No, I understand that, but since the notices of pleading were submitted to my client has stopped using DJs. There has obviously been multiple times.
Right, but we
where
just
they
had a
used DJs.
conversation about third-party promoters. Who's Flex Entertainment?
I don't know.
Flex is us. That's us.
That's also you.
Yes.
Even though your business is TAZV Productions.
Yes.
You know, with this story that you're telling us, counsel, I am really surprised that the licensee is not present.
The licensee wanted to be present, but unfortunately he's ill. In fact, he hasn't been in his office the last 2 days, and he's not in his office today, and is just simply not able to be here.
Oh, you didn't let us know that from the get-go.
I just found out that he was sick this morning. Yesterday I emailed the board saying that he would be present. This morning I was told as soon as I arrived that he's sick and he's not able to attend.
No, what I'm saying is, had I not asked, I would have assumed that that was the licensee standing next to you. When you stood up to the podium, you did not tell us that this is an employee.
I said that Mr. Fox is an employee, not a principal. That was one of the first things that I said.
And I apologize if I missed it.
No,
I
not at all.
apologize if I missed it.
Not at all. If you want to say something, go ahead.
Yes, folks, if I could talk just for a second. My name is Gary Fox. I've been at the business for 10 years. I'm a local musician. I'm a member of Discover Saratoga, a board member of Discover Saratoga, the travel and tourism for Saratoga. We don't want to have any problems. I am a live music person and musician and from the area. I have a stellar reputation, and basically what happened over the time period is we've always had DJs here and there. We started having them more in the past couple of years, and that was when it was brought to our attention that we were only able to have what was stated on the license, which was live music, multiple genres.
And Mr. Fox,
yes?
Let me just interrupt you.
Sure.
Because I want to help you guys.
Sure.
If you're giving, however this works out, if you stay in business, you're not going to come back for any of this stuff, right?
Correct.
And I'm impressed always by your counsel, Attorney Bro. So
thank you.
I hope you listen to him, but I'm just making that comment to you. I'm sure that you have credentials. So I'm ready to vote.
Sure.
Or do you have any further questions? You ready?
Vote, we have to vote. What's that? If we're ready to vote, I'm ready to vote.
Commissioner De Leon, if you're.
Okay.
And I would make the hours permanent.
Well, if they're bringing in 275, 400 people a night, I think they can pay 50K.
Yes.
Like minds think alike.
I would do.
Yes. And one other thing I'll mention is that we had been over the last couple of years in limbo, but our capacity has just been raised to 400. And again, we're just trying to do live music. We're trying to do more corporate events, weddings, that sort of a thing. That's why we do have the change of method operations, and that would be the sort of thing.
Yeah,
going
but
forward.
when you offer me, look, you know, the facts have to all fall together. When you're offering using metal detector as one of your compromises, it really it makes me very concerned about public safety. and
If
then
I-
we're
if I could-
picking and
if I could
choosing. There are
talk-
some that we will use metal on and some that we will not. Like, I mean, who are we talking about? Like, who's coming in? You're a musician, you know, I used to produce on Broadway. It would never occur to me on Broadway to say I'm gonna use metal wands on these events and not these other events. Like, when
May
you
I speak
put
to that point?
yourself into this category of this is the community we're trying to serve, it also changes the way the board consider this from a public safety standpoint. You understand?
Yes. May I speak to that point?
No,
That was
I
in
think
con-
we're.
That was
I
in
think that-
consultation with counsel's office. And if I'm not mistaken, that might have been an idea broached by counsel's office as a way of showing that we are taking seriously security.
Well,
if that's something that counsel's office is advising, then we certainly would take it under advisement and offer. We have no problem using that level of security.
All right, so let's just.
Yeah. No, just saying. I'm fine with that. But, you know, I'm ready to vote, and a lot of what you said, quite honestly, you know, just does not pass this, what we say, the smell test for me. But leaving that aside, you've been in business for 8 years, went off the chart on 2024 to 2025. I'm going to say that this entire year period is some kind of crazy anomaly. Despite the problems that you've had there, and it's not just, you know, the DJ, it's the disorderly premise, it's the failure to conform, it's the slashing, it's the PD having to call state troopers to the location. You have a location now that you say can handle 400 people. That's a tremendous amount of money coming in. And it just seems to me like the classic case of the dollar before the public safety. More dollars, little less on the public, little less concern for the public safety until something happens. And that's what we don't want. We don't want that something to happen. For some reason here, Saratoga PD is reassured by your proposed changes. I don't get it. And the fact that the licensee has not presented themselves, although I'm told by counsel that they are ill, is a little bit concerning. All that said, I think the $23,000 is insufficient. You know, I'm going to keep you in business, at least with my vote, and ask for $50,000, because I think with the amount of money that's been taken in, despite your assertion that you're making less, you can handle that, and I think it sends a strong message to you and the industry. And then I think some of these proposed changes that you're planning, I think need some tweaking, but I think the chair will address that. So that's my vote.
Commissioner Maya.
All right. Yeah, I want to keep you in business as well, especially with your representation and maybe and your conditions. And I am actually counting on your counsel to make sure that you comply with numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6 of your offer.
Somebody. Is that Ms. Rafferty?
Oh, no.
Just have them down there.
No, seriously, can we just go to the A floor, please? Everybody exit the room, please, please, please.
For Albany, if you can go on mute, this is going to take some time. I apologize. We do have a medical
All
emergency
right,
here.
everybody, please, please, please.
Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Bookman. How are you, sir? How's your, okay, I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet.
All right, for those still watching on YouTube and the individuals in Albany, I apologize, but we are canceling this meeting due to the emergency, and we are rescheduling to May 28th. You will receive notice if you were here for an item on May 13th. Again, I apologize for having to wait, but this was an emergency. And we are going, I know, Mr. Bro, I see you. I know you want to go on unmute to ask about it.
Yeah.
What's up?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I wouldn't ask.
No, were we on, were the microphones on all this time?
No, you can hear us, right?
What?
You can hear us until I started talking.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
No, I couldn't hear you.
Well, I can hear you now.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Just for clarification, considering that our presentation had ended, should we just wait for a written decision, or do we need to come back to finish the decision orally?
Because technically the votes didn't end, did it? I think you only had one vote.
Boy and girl. All right.
Yeah. I would come back. I apologize.
Come back for the other votes?
Yeah. Hold on
Okay.
1 second. I'll be
All right.
back.
Okay.
Please come back because they still have to go over the basically the method of operation. They really wanted to go over that with you. You know, the metal detectors and everything. So that's still a portion that hasn't been finalized. So please come back. It's May 28th. We'll send notice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, this meeting's adjourned and is being rescheduled to May 28th. Thank you.